I gotta get no cheese.
That is going to be a very hot bite. You know that, right?
Yes.
The savoriness of this hot sauce is out of control, man.
It's not because it's got Viagra in it. Hey everyone, do you want to know what are the most iconic New York restaurant chains? The ones that really define New York in its past and present, everything from 100 years ago to 10 years ago. We're gonna go do it in this video. And our first spot is Katz Deli. All right, so Katz Deli actually has a history that stretches all the way back to 1888. So they do things very traditionally, but I would say it is an iconic chain. Like, even if someone's visiting New York City for 1 or 2 days, I still tell them to go check out Katz Deli. Now, I will say this. I've been here before, and you can get the regular pastrami or the corned beef or even the brisket on its regular rye with no other sauces, but I personally gotta get it with other accoutrements like mayo, maybe some lettuce, tomato, some cheese. I'm excited though. I would like mayo.
Mayo's okay.
Yeah, okay, mayo's okay?
Tomato.
Not tomato. Forget, I'm not getting lettuce and tomato. I'm just getting mayo though. I need mayo and cheese. I gotta get no cheese. The cool thing here is you can actually sample the meat before you buy it. It's kind of like a gelato spot. All right, so I got my order, guys, and I want to be upfront. This is not the most traditional Katz order. I got club bread, which is the white bread, and I got mayo, but I think the mayo is crucial because I've been to Katz before, and I just got the mustard, but I always thought something was missing. Here you got your 2 types of pickles, your more picklies, and then your, more fresh pickles, and then you got your matzo ball, which is a traditional Jewish food. It's essentially like a big, dense bread ball in chicken soup, and I'm actually gonna try all of this with smala after I take a bite without smala, of course, to be respectful. So guys, this is your Katz pastrami on club bread with mayo and mustard. This is just a half sandwich too. The mayo makes a difference. Oh wait, I already know that Katz sandwich is delicious, all right? That goes without saying, but I really want to know how our new chili oil smala is gonna taste on it because it kind of is inspired by the Italian and Chinese chili oil, has a little bit of Sichuan peppercorns for that numbing vibe, but also truffle inside as well. So I'm just gonna see how it goes on all these iconic New York foods. Ooh. Smala on Katz pastrami. Ooh. I mean, honestly, the pastrami, it has a little bit of spice to it. Obviously, the bark of the pastrami is peppery, and obviously the pastrami itself is very salty, but I think smala works great, and it really goes good on pairing up with the mayo side, which the creaminess of the mayo kind of does tone down the smala, so it adds this nice kick. And this is like a Sichuan pastrami. That's how it tastes like. Trying smala on the matzo ball. I know it goes great on carbs too, so. It went really good on the matzo ball. Wow. All right, so overall, I had no expectation of how it was gonna taste on the pastrami and the matzo ball because those are not usually dishes you would imagine you would put chili oil on, but it really balances out with the mayo, and especially if there was cheese on this thing, it would have been amazing. And on the matzo ball, surprisingly, it went really well because this is a carb. So, you know what? I'm just excited to try smala on other iconic New York foods.
All right, you guys, we're at the world famous Halal, guys. They started with 1 cart on 53rd and 6th, and now they got 100 globally with 400 in the works. You're looking at it right here. It started off being, I believe, chicken and lamb, but this is chicken and beef now. And of course, instead of the red sauce, we got the white sauce here because the red sauce is gonna be smala. Yeah, be liberal with it, guys. My goodness, I'm so excited to try this. Here we go. Halal, guys, with smala. It actually works really, really well because their regular hot sauce is so fiery. I still like that one too, but I'm telling you guys, anything that's white, whether we're talking about a noodle, a pasta, a rice, a carb, smala works perfect on it. Yeah, we go on the pita. This is like a perfect vehicle to deliver the you know, the textures and the complexity of small lot. Listen, guys, like I said, anything white, whether we're talking about a carb or even a cheese, we're gonna try it on this baklava cheesecake. Just, you know, just a part of it in case it doesn't work. I think it's gonna be okay. I'm not saying it's gonna be a 10 out of 10, but because ultimately the baklava cheesecake is still so sweet, it overpowers it, but it has a nice, like, you know, almost like a spiced rum vibe to it.
I feel like empanadas are kind of like a pizza where it's just like a blank slate because it's also kind of like a dumpling. In fact, now that I think about it, it's kind of like a pizza dumpling because there's breading, but it's also shaped like a dumpling. Anyways, you can put anything you want inside. The reason why Empanada Mama is so popular is because they got flavors like bourbon chicken, the Viagra, mac and cheese. These are not traditional empanadas, but they are delicious. Look at that. Bourbon chicken. Holy shit. Alright guys, so you guys know the deal. We'll put Smala on everything. That's the theme of this video. Shout out to the sponsor, Smala. Bourbon chicken, if you haven't had it, it's delicious. It's like this style of grilled chicken that kind of comes from New Orleans. And anyways, it's good. Alright, this one is the mac and cheese one, also a very popular one. As you can see, they're freshly fried. I like the fried flour ones. Oh. Okay, so this one has ham on it. Usually at Mama Empanada, you'd use the green sauce, the aji, but you know, of course, we're using the red sauce. The Smala. Last but not least, you got one of their most famous flavors. It's the Viagra, and I'll tell you why. It's not because it's got Viagra in it, but it's got a lot of shrimp. And supposedly, I guess, you know, the folklore is you eat the seafood and the shrimp, and it, you know, gives you that extra power when you need it, like Viagra. But anyways, this is one of my favorites. This is a seafood stew. It's got imitation crab meat, but real shrimp inside, real plump shrimp. Look at that. Wow. Because this one was rather light in flavor, so the Smala just kicks it up. Holy crap. You can show Empanada Mama its full respect. You gotta try something with the aji, but I'm gonna lace it. I'm gonna drizzle it with a little bit of Smala. So it's aji and Smala. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is this gonna be like the Los Tacos #1 with the guac and the Smala? It was like a whirlwind of flavors because you had kind of like the lime, citrusy burst of the aji, and then you had that kind of smooth umami spicy kick from the Smala. So actually, I would say that really worked well too. I was kind of impressed. Man, yo, you gotta check. If you have not had empanadas in New York, what are you doing? Next up on our iconic pizza crawl through New York City with Smala, of course, we got French Street Pizza. So what we got is the white slice, and we got the spicy pep. This is probably the most famous right here. Big slice. Guys, I already can tell you that it's a delicious slice on its own, so let me just go ahead and pour Smala on it. Double spicy, baby. Ooh.
Oh, you're in the cupcake place?
This is a challenge to not make it fall.
Fine.
Be careful though. That is an extra kick, but that's delicious. I know I'm looking crazy right now. But I'll tell you, the Smala on top of the spicy sauce already, it's kind of mixing in with the oils of the pepperoni. So it's almost like the pepperoni were made with Smala. It's kind of delicious. With the Smala on the spicy pep, I definitely give that like a 4.5 out of 5. It really kicked it up perfectly. I know my mouth is looking crazy, but let me tell you this, it's not French Street unless your mouth is getting messy. To be honest, it's a messy pizza. It's very drippy, very saucy, but it's very delicious. And I love the bread, it's very fluffy, all right? Here, you got the white slice with fresh basil on it. And I love Smala on white slices because it goes so well on cream, you know, Alfredo pasta, anything of that sort. So let's drizzle it on. Oh my gosh. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, yo, Andrew, that's a lot of oil, but
no,
it's also a lot of flavor.
All right, here you go.
This is gonna get messy again. Can I tell you that this is like a big, delicious cheese stick right here? I don't really know what sauce there is, but man, that is a lot of great stretchy cheese. All right, I give the white slice with the smala 4 out of 5, and I think it's only just because like there was just so much cheese, so I had to put more smala, but the smala just embedded itself into this one so well. All right, guys, so for our next iconic New York food that we're gonna be trying with smala, I'm talking about Xi'an Famous Foods, man. They have so many locations in Manhattan, all over New York, all the different boroughs. They started in Queens, owned by one family, and they are known for their really thick hand-pulled noodles, guys, from Xi'an. I think I've heard both things. I heard from students from Xi'an that they really like this. I've also heard some students say, oh, it's not as authentic, but overall, everybody loves it, man. And the flavors are great. I mean, look at this. You can get spicy cucumber, super spicy. You can get the rojamo here, which is kind of like essentially your Chinese hamburger. And what I love to see here is this little bit of onions. The purple onions, I like that. So we're gonna try it on smala. You see how the greens are sticking out? That's what I like to see, man. That's real Xi'an style. They got peppers in it too. Now it's already kind of spicy, but let's see how the smala kind of adds in with the Xi'an spices. So they definitely have their own chili oil in here already. Xi'an Famous Foods with smala.
They serve like the big round right? Like the first one.
The smala did come through. I kind of tasted it first because I just poured it on. Add a little bit more. Here we go. First of all, everybody, I want to give props because this is one of the top rojamos you can get in the city as far as the fattiness of the meat and then having real peppers inside. I'd say smala was a nice little addition. I tasted it slightly, obviously because there are so much other spices going on, but I'm pretty glad, guys. Honestly, so far, even if a food is already spicy and has its spices, smala works still well on it. On to the next spot.
All right, you guys, we are in front of the iconic Mr. Softy brand truck. This started in 1956. I got my man Frankie right here. He told me that I have to get the chocolate and vanilla twist with the cookie crumble on top. This is delicious, guys. I'm telling you, there's something about this ice cream.
How's that?
How's good? I'm telling you guys, the crispiness from the outside with the chocolate and vanilla twist, it's classic, but it's still got something a little elevated to it. Obviously, guys, putting smala on the iconic Mr. Softy ice cream is a little unconventional, but this is hot right now. It ain't bad, folks. People put langama on it. You should try smala.
Which one is this? Supreme?
He will tell you what it is.
All right, everybody, our next iconic New York spot is none other than Joe's Pizza. It's been around since 1975. Here I have the Supreme. It's got onions, pep, sausage, and yeah, that's it. And then you got the regular cheese. And then I really like to get this white spinach slice just because this is a slice you can't get anywhere else. Let me just go in on the cheese first. I know it's weird to say, but I would say their sauce is like juicy. Like it almost does kind of taste very, very tomatoey, which is always distinct. Try to pull this slice. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's got a lot of topping. That's why it's dripping in the middle. What I love about Joe's slices is just like it attracts people from all over, all different walks of life. You can find them here. You got kids, you got different nationalities, ethnicities. Spinach one. Good. Underrated. Spinach on pizza does work. Now, how does it work with smala, which is our very own chili oil? I'm very excited. One of my favorite things to put it on is pizza right now. Let's try it on the cheese slice. Drizzle a little bit there. Smala on Joe's Supreme slice. Joe's white spinach slice. You can really see the little drips right there. Look, adds a little color to the slice. Looks beautiful. So good. Oh, Joe's, man. Smala and Joe's. That's a new classic right there.
All right, you guys, we are at Los Tacos #1 right now. I'm here with my man Paz. Thank you for doing this. And we're gonna be trying Smala on these iconic tacos. Are you familiar with Los Tacos #1?
I'm very familiar, big fan. This is my first time trying to cactus taco. I'm gonna dive right into this thing.
I gotta start off with the classic adobada right here.
It's a nice healthy douse. Nice healthy amount. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Honestly, on the adobada, it went perfect because some people like the adobada extra spicy anyway, like a Taqueria Ramirez. What'd you think of it on the cactus?
This is fire. I think this taco already has some kick to it, but the savoriness of this hot sauce is out of control, man.
Do you think that Los Tacos #1 is the best taco chain in New York City?
I can't think of anything right now that would top that. So yeah.
Do you have like an individual cart or like taco truck that you like better?
So I used to live in Brooklyn, been up and down, tried most of them. There's a truck in East Village right now, and I think it's not there because there's construction on the street. That's on Avenue A and 2nd Street. When the construction is lifted, I'm sure they'll be back, but I don't know the name of the truck, but you'll find it most days, like during the week. Fire.
That's your spot.
All right, so for me, I got the carne asada, and I got this little fried pepper here. Now, this is like the Mexican fried pepper, but this really reminds me of a lot of Sichuan fried peppers as well. I'm gonna eat just a tip. It's hot. Glad I got this guac though. It's a perfect carrier for the chili oil. Nice healthy dose. I love pairing smala with something creamy. Mayo, guac, it goes perfect. All right, here I got the pollo asada, grilled chicken, of course. And I'll tell you this, if you're questioning Los Tacos #1, it's Tijuana style tacos. And I got friends from LA who said they're taco snobs, and they came here and they still like it. Fresh made tortilla, handmade, they got corn and flour, delicious, stretchy. The food is always still, juicy, so not saying there's not great taco carts out here, but I'm saying if you don't want to eat at the cart, this is it. Los Tacos numero uno.
All right, you guys, I'm souping up my quesadilla right here. I got this with the corn shell. The corn tortilla. He told me that it's better that way. Of course, we're gonna soup it up with the smala. This is my very first time actually getting one here. Listen, guys, a lot of people say that New York doesn't have good tacos, but I really think that is outdated. The past 3 years, you got Birria, Landia, you got so many different chains, Los Tacos #1. I wouldn't be surprised if they have 50 of these up and down the East Coast pretty soon.
Yo, David, talk. That is going to be a very hot bite. You know that, right?
Yes.
That's going to be very hot, very spicy.
Like I said, guys, smala, it goes perfect on pork. I love smala on pork. Plus, we got the guac as a carrier. Oh.
All right, everybody, I'm at Dim Sum Palace in Chinatown. It's 12 a.m. Here I have the Lao Sa Bao, aka the sweet salted egg yolk bun, aka lava bun. And I'm gonna try it with smala. This is something that I don't know how it's gonna taste because it's sweet and salty inside. And it's not usually something you would, okay, a little lava-ish. Here we go. Just a little strike right there. That wasn't bad. I like trying smala on sweet things and dessert-like things because I always want to know how they do and honestly, it's not bad. To get this level of food at 3 a.m. at night in Chinatown is pretty impressive. Now, I wish Chinatown still had the late night culture. Obviously, since COVID and everything, things have changed. So, you know, a lot of spots aren't open, but this is probably one of 4 quality spots in Chinatown that are really open. So here we got the Sing Tao Tao Mai Fun. One thing I like about this dish and the way they cook it here, it's not too bright yellow. It's kind of got this brownish hue to it, which means like it's got a lot of that like wok hei. It's mala on the Singaporean Mai Fun. We got the curry taste, the kick of the curry mixed in with the mala. Shout out to Dim Sum Palace. They also, I think, own another spot called Dim Sum Sam over by Madison Square Park, and that has like a whole more Hong Kong vibe. But look, the dim sum's coming out. Damn. And another thing I like about Dim Sum Palace is that they're doing things a little bit more modern. You know, they have your classics like pork siu mai, but these are actually chicken, and these are actually seafood. So I'm gonna try the chicken one first. None of this has pork. I still like the pork one, but you know, sometimes I just go for the chicken. Lots of nice white pepper mixed in with the smala. And by the way, even though I'm using smala on a lot of stuff, I do want to acknowledge that Dim Sum Palace does have a very, very solid la chu yao, and it has the chilies inside. Obviously, it's gonna be a little different. Let me just put a little bit because I want to shout them out. The difference between smala is that this has a lot of like kind of a beanie and a darker taste, and I guess you would say in a way tastes more traditionally Chinese, but smala cuts the difference between the Italian Calabrian chili oil, of course, and that oil. Truffle umami on this one, both are good. All right, next up we got chicken xiaolong baos, aka soup dumplings. New York loves soup dumplings. They love the xiaolong bao, but also in New York there's a lot of people who don't really eat a lot of pork, so of course the chicken ones are very, very popular. Anyways, here I got the vinegar with the little bits of ginger. Let me just dip it in, bathe it in there, yeah. Take a little bath. I'm gonna let the smala flow down the pleats of the dumpling. Just a little bit. Oh. Oh, smala goes so well on dumplings that I mean, I don't even think you need the vinegar. I'm just gonna pour it in the top, let it flow down. The pleats of the dumpling like a mountain range, like the lava flows down a volcano. And the reason why I put Dim Sum Palace in the icons of New York City is because honestly, this is a chain that you can only find in New York City, and it is open late, and it started in New York City, so that's why it's a new classic.
All right, you guys, ever since 2001 in Madison Square Park, there is now 400 locations of Shake Shack globally. Like we said, guys, we've got the iconic Shroom Shack right here, Shroom Burger. This is actually a fried portobello stuffed with cheese on top of their beef patty. So one of the most interesting things about Shake Shack's origin story is it was actually started by Danny Meyer, who's from 11 Madison Park. That is like probably one of the most famous sort of like fine dining restaurants you can emerge from that does like new American fusion foods. Man, look at that right there, guys. If you guys have seen Shake Shacks all across America, like we said, they really started expanding in 2015. So they really haven't probably been around more than like 5 years in your city. And their whole idea was to mix like fine dining thinking with like an old school New York burger. So let's try it with a little bit of smala. Put that tomato back. Man, pay attention to detail. They got matching tomatoes on both sides. Here we go. I'm gonna say that the smala pairs pretty well with this because the portobello is stuffed with so much cheese to give you like the cheesy vibe. Of course, there's mayonnaise in it, the own shack sauce, as well as the sort of the creaminess from the fat of the beef. The smala has truffle mushroom in it, pairs really well with the portobello mushroom. That's mushroom on mushroom, umami on umami. Of course, we can't forget the bacon cheese fries. Over time, they've sort of added like avocado and bacon to the menu at Shake Shack. You know, more people, they want different things as the years go along. And yeah, let's get into this. Shake Shack's fries are always very debatable, sort of like In-N-Out's, because there's crinkle cut and then In-N-Out's fries. Some people don't like those two. So I think it's interesting that the debate of the New York chain versus the Cali chain that supposedly have the best burger coast to coast, they both might have mid fries. I'm gonna settle it. I think the Shake Shack fries might have the In-N-Out fries by a hair. By a hair, because these taste like elevated school public lunch fries. Whereas I feel like the In-N-Out ones, there's a better potato flavor, but it's kind of hit or miss. I'm gonna edge it barely to the Shake Shack crinkle cut. Burger-wise though, I might go with In-N-Out. Honestly, guys, I thought it went good on the Shroom Shack burger, but it actually went great on these bacon cheese fries. I mean, I don't know, it's just simple, it's easy, it almost creates like a whole different vibe with the melted cheese. I'm sure they're using American. Man, that's a 10 out of 10.
All right, everybody, we're here at one of the newest 7th Street burger locations. 7th Street Burger has become a staple in New York City. I've small-lawed this up, by the way, already. So here you go. I'm splitting it. I might small-law it up some more, though. Hold on. And I even have the chopped cheese fries here. That's a new item. I've small-lawed that up. Small-lawed chili oil on the 7th Street single. I think small-lawed goes perfectly with the creamy kind of special sauce that they have. It's essentially Big Mac sauce, but it goes great with that. As you know, the chopped cheese is an iconic New York dish, and now 7th Street is doing their version with the fries. Beef all over, smala on top. Let's go. More smala for the kick. Oh man, it's amazing on the fries because once it hits the actual fry and the sauce, it all mixes in together. Obviously, I did put a generous amount of smala, I'm not gonna lie, but overall, man, it's good. Smala with cream goes really well together.